Hi, I'm Lola, and like any typical teenager, I was always asking my parents for some pocket money, but they always said no. It's not that they were poor or anything. They just thought I was too young and irresponsible to have my own money. Silly, right? So, I had to take matters into my own hands. I couldn't just go out and get a part-time job because I was only 15, so I Googled some other options. One girl had written that she made good money from flirting with older men, but who was I fooling? I could never do that. I have self-respect. It just wasn't fair. All my friends at school had enough to cover their lunch and snacks and stuff, and even had some money left over to go to the mall and buy all the latest clothes. But not me. I was stuck in old clothes that had gone out of fashion years ago, and it was so embarrassing. And this had to change. There had to be a way. And then I found it. I was going to join the Illuminati. Yep, you heard me right. A powerful organization which is supposed to be secretly controls the entire modern world, probably while wearing cloaks, infiltrating the media, brainwashing everybody somehow. I don't really even know if they are real or not. But anyways, basically, it all started when I put a message on my Facebook asking if anyone had any ideas about how I could make some money. Well, 5 minutes later, I got a message from my ex. We only dated for a few weeks because he broke up with me for a girl from another school, and I swear it's because I dressed so badly and had no money. I hadn't spoken to him since then, so I was surprised to see him pop up in my inbox. He told me about how I could join the Illuminati to be able to get some benefits from them. He said it was really exclusive, but he was in, and that was how he got allowance to afford everything he wanted. Then he asked me if we could meet up, and he'd tell me more. I immediately said yes, even though he'd broken my heart when he dumped me. I mean, that's how badly I wanted money. I was willing to meet up with my ex for it. And you will not believe it. He arrived at my house in a Porsche. I asked him if it was his dad's, and he said no, it was his. He'd bought it himself, and that was just one of his membership benefits. Then he asked if I wanted to join, and if I was serious. And all I could look at was his fancy clothes and sports car. I used to date him, and I know his family was not wealthy. He definitely bought it himself. And now, he looked just rich enough to not worry about how much things cost, and I was like, yes, sign me up! But he said there were some things I need to do before I became an official member, and that he'd send me a list later that day. So, he sent me the list, and the first thing he asked me to do was to burn cockroaches alive. I mean, where would I even find cockroaches? I am literally the cleanest person you will ever meet, and so are my family. So there wasn't a chance there was even one sneaky cockroach hiding anywhere in our house. It killed me a little, realizing that I'd need to become messy so that cockroaches would start coming into my room. I started by leaving dirty plates under my bed. After 2 days of rotting fish lying under my bed, I honestly thought I was going to puke. And things just kept getting worse. 2 weeks later, I swear my room looked and smelled worse than a trash can. And that's when the cockroaches started coming. One day, I came home from school, and they were everywhere. I started collecting them, and before my parents got home from work, I turned the stove on the highest temperature and popped them in the fire. I didn't even dare to watch them burn. It devastated me to know I was hurting them. But what choice did I have? I had to get approved to join the Illuminati. I made a video and sent it to my ex, and he said he'd forward it to the head of the society. In the meantime, I went to even more desperate measures to get some money. I have really short hair, so I can often pass as a boy, even though I'm a girl. Some people even think I'm a lesbian, so I decided to play along with it. I started to hang out with a few girls from school who were all lesbians, and I couldn't believe they were actually interested in me. I felt kind of bad. I mean, I didn't actually like them, I just wanted their money. Soon, they were buying me lunch every day, so that meant I could start saving up the money my parents gave me for lunch. But honestly, I just felt empty. I realized those girls felt sorry for me and saw me as some kind of charity case. So, after a while, I moved on from them and started dating a guy called Sandy. He was pretty cute, and I never thought he'd be the kind of guy to like me. And at first, things were great. But one day, he asked me for money so he could buy data for his phone. I said okay, but I quickly regretted it because then he started asking me for other things, like a new t-shirt, a cap, and then at lunchtime, he would just expect me to buy his lunch. But I never did. I always told him I didn't have enough money, even though I did have a little bit saved up. But I'd worked hard for that and wasn't about to spend it on him. After a while, he started treating me badly, and so it came as no surprise when he broke up with me. I didn't even care. He'd become a bit of a burden anyway. By then, it had been like a month, so I messaged my ex to ask if I'd been accepted yet. He just wrote back, "Laugh out loud, not yet. You need to kill 2 rats. Then they'll properly consider you." I couldn't believe it. I cried so much killing cockroaches, so how would I be able to kill 2 rats? I replied to him and said, "Forget it. This was a dumb idea. I can't do it." I'm not joking when I say that literally 5 minutes later, my friend messaged me and told me to go on Instagram. There was my video of me killing the cockroaches, and underneath it said #cockroachkiller. He'd even taken screenshots of the video and made a collage of all my different facial expressions as I killed them. I couldn't believe it. What was he doing? Was this some kind of prank? And then another video popped up in my inbox. It was from him. He was speaking in it and said that he was never actually in the Illuminati. He just wanted to have a bit of fun and didn't think I'd actually be so gullible to believe him. Then he said it wasn't even his Porsche. He just borrowed it from his friend's dad, and that he only managed to buy fancy clothes because he made money from his poetry gigs that he did every weekend. And then he just started laughing, saying that I was crazy, and he was glad he'd broken up with me. And what kind of person would actually be dumb enough to think that they could just join the Illuminati by killing cockroaches? Oh my God, why had I believed him? I felt so sad hearing him say all those nasty things about me. Pretty soon, that video went viral, and everyone at school saw it. Eventually, Instagram took it down. But it'll haunt me forever. The boys at school still laugh at me and call me the cockroach killer. Especially Sandy. He is like my biggest enemy now, along with my ex. They were so mean to me, but weirdly enough, none of the girls laughed at me. In fact, the lesbian girls actually stuck by me and supported me, and it made me feel so bad for using them. They genuinely wanted to be my friend. You're probably wondering if I actually managed to make any extra money? Nope. I'd say I'm even poorer now because my guilt won't allow me to let my friends buy me lunch, even when they offer. And of course, my parents are still as stingy as ever. Things are even worse now, as after the whole cockroach thing, they thought I'd gone a bit crazy, and even installed a security system at home so they could keep an eye on me. So, not only do I have no money, I have no privacy either. And it's all because I stupidly believed the Illuminati could change my life for the better. Yeah, right. Guess I'll just need to wait until I'm a bit older and can get a proper job and not rely on others.